The day is slowly coming to an end. The sun has slipped behind the hills, painting the sky with shades of gold, pink, and lavender. The forest is settling down for the night. Birds are returning to their nests. Leaves sway gently in the evening breeze. And beneath the whispering trees, a story is waiting to be told. A story about a rabbit, a turtle, and a race that turned out to be much more than anyone expected. So take a deep breath, let your worries drift away, and listen closely. Our journey begins at the edge of a peaceful little forest. On the edge of a peaceful little forest, where golden sunlight danced through the leaves and painted the ground with tiny patches of light, a very special day had arrived. The forest's annual race was about to begin. From every corner of the woods, animals came to watch. Birds fluttered onto the branches overhead. Squirrels curled their fluffy tails as they settled on warm rocks. Little rabbits bounced excitedly along the path, and as they searched for the perfect place to sit, everyone was waiting to see one animal in particular. Rabbit. His fur was as white as fresh clouds drifting across a summer sky. His bright eyes sparkled with confidence, and when he ran, he moved so quickly that some animals swore he looked like a streak of silver light. That was why everyone called him Lightning. After all, Rabbit had won the race every year. Surely he would win again. At least, that was what everyone thought. Not far away stood his best friend, Turtle. Now, Turtle was very different. If Rabbit was like a rushing wind, Turtle was like a smooth stone resting quietly beside a stream. He never hurried. He never complained. And somehow, whenever you were with Turtle, everything felt calm. The two friends couldn't have been more different. Yet they cared deeply for one another. Turtle knew he wasn't fast. In fact, he had never won a race in his life. But that didn't bother him. Not one bit. His mother had once told him something he never forgot. Every creature has a gift of its own. Fish are made for swimming. Birds are made for flying. Flowers are made for blooming. And we are happiest when we learn to appreciate the gifts we've been given. Rabbit had swift legs. Turtle had patience. Both were treasures. Just then, a whistle echoed through the forest. Peep! And the race began. Rabbit sprang forward like a flash of lightning. Before anyone could blink, he was already racing down the path. A swirl of dust twirled behind him. The crowd cheered. Meanwhile, Turtle took his first step, then another, and another. His shell felt heavy. His legs were short, but he kept moving, slowly, steadily, without stopping. The sounds of cheering soon faded behind him. The forest grew quiet. Sunlight filtered through the branches above. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves. Somewhere nearby, a bird sang a sweet afternoon song. Turtle smiled to himself. He wasn't racing to beat anyone. He was simply doing his best. And sometimes that is more than enough. Hour after hour, he continued along the winding path. The sun drifted slowly across the sky. Golden morning became bright afternoon. Bright afternoon softened into evening. At last, far ahead, Turtle spotted the finish line. A wave of excitement fluttered through his heart. Step by step, he made his way closer. And finally, he crossed it. The animals clapped and cheered. Turtle had finished the race. But something felt strange. Very strange. Where was Rabbit? Turtle looked down the path. No Rabbit. He searched the nearby woods. Still no Rabbit. He even stood on tiptoe and looked toward the distant hills. Nothing. A tiny knot of worry formed in his chest. "That's odd," Turtle whispered. "He should have finished long ago." As the evening grew darker, the animals slowly returned home. The sky turned soft shades of gold and pink, then lavender, then deep blue. The first stars began to twinkle above the treetops. Still, Turtle waited, and waited, and waited. Because that's what friends do. Then, just as the moon peeked above the hills, a familiar white figure came racing down the path. Rabbit! His fur was messy, his ears drooped with exhaustion, and he was breathing so hard he could barely speak. Turtle hurried over at once. "Rabbit, where have you been? I've been worried about you." Rabbit bent over, trying to catch his breath. Then he let out a small laugh. "You'll never guess what happened. Do you remember the old lady who lives beyond the mountain?" Turtle nodded. Of course he did. "Well," Rabbit said, "she became very ill today. While I was racing, I saw Wolf carrying her to Little Red Riding Hood's house for help. But Wolf had taken a wrong turn and gotten completely lost. So I stopped racing and helped them find the way." For a moment, neither friend said a word. The forest seemed especially quiet beneath the stars. Then Rabbit smiled sheepishly. "I suppose I lost the race." Turtle looked at his friend. The moonlight shimmered softly across the path. A gentle breeze drifted through the trees, and Turtle smiled, a warm smile, the kind that reaches all the way to the heart. "I don't think so." Rabbit blinked. "You don't?" Turtle shook his head. "There are some races that don't have finish lines, and there are victories that don't come with trophies." He looked up at the stars glittering above them. Sometimes the greatest victory is choosing kindness when someone needs it most. For a moment, Rabbit said nothing. Then a slow smile spread across his face, a smile brighter than any trophy. That night, Turtle carried home the Champion's Cup, but Rabbit carried home something else. A grateful thank you, a few happy tears, a warm memory, and the quiet joy that comes from helping another person. Above them, the stars sparkled like tiny lanterns in the night sky. Crickets sang their sleepy songs. The moon watched over the forest with a gentle silver glow. And side by side, the two friends made their way home. Slowly, peacefully, together. And beneath the starry sky, both of them felt rich in all the ways that truly mattered. And now, the forest has grown quiet once more. The moon shines softly above the trees. The stars twinkle peacefully in the night sky. And somewhere along a gentle woodland path, Rabbit and Turtle are still walking home together. Thank you for joining them on their journey tonight. Sleep well, dream sweetly, and may your heart always find room for kindness. Good night.